Hi, YouTube subscribers. My name is Rayshawn, known as Ray Niz on Facebook, also known as Mr. Ceiling Fan Man 1999 on YouTube. Now, what's going on is that I'm actually doing a remake video of my 42-inch white and polished sprayers, SMC Royal Flush Ceiling Fan Model U42. Now, this the ceiling fan that I found sitting at the curb not too far from my neighborhood back in October of this year. Now, when I found this fan and stuff, it was sitting at the curb because it came out of a house that was being remodeled. And somebody decided to replace the ceiling fan with a light fixture, a regular light fixture. So therefore, before they set this fan out to the curb for it to be thrown away, I decided I was gonna grab it and stuff just to see if it was another ceiling fan project that I could do. Excuse me, I can't even talk right for real. So when I found this ceiling fan, the bearings on the motor was locked up. So I sprayed some WD-40 on the bearings and stuff, and it freed the bearings up, and it got the ceiling fan working good. But the thing about it is that the bearings was so loud. It was so loud to the point that you can almost hear the bearings on the ceiling fan in the next room and stuff, or a further distance away. So then what I decided to do is that I decided to replace the bearings on the motor. And then so the next thing is now, because I don't have that special tool called the bearing puller that actually pulled the bearings off the motor stator, the ceiling fan. So I had to clamp the motor down onto the vise, and I had to stick a screwdriver through the holes on the motor stator and made sure that the screwdriver was actually touching the bearings and stuff. Then I took the hammer and knocked the bearings off the motor stator and put the new bearings onto the motor stator. Now, the wires on the motor stator was so brittle that they was actually falling apart. So I tried to put that wire back onto that part where it actually fell off at. And then so the next thing is, then as soon as I put the motor back together, and then I pulled the chain to see if the motor was going to come on, and the motor was no longer working because I made a mistake and hit the windings with the hammer and stuff. It damaged the windings on the original motor stator. So the motor for the sedan was no longer good at the moment. And then so the next thing is, then I had a ceiling fan motor that actually went to a Hampton Bay Littleton ceiling fan that I parted out that was made by SMC. Not my Hampton Bay Littleton ceiling fan from 1997, but I had a Hampton Bay Littleton ceiling fan that was manufactured in 2009. And that ceiling fan was manufactured back in November of 2009. So I went on and scrapped that motor. So I went on and scrapped the 2009 Hampton Bay Littleton ceiling fan motor out, and I replaced and did. So the next thing is, so what I did was that I took the motor stator and the rotor out of the Hampton Bay Littleton ceiling fan and decided to put it inside the black motor that goes to this SMC Royal Flush ceiling fan. And then so that way I'll be able to get the ceiling fan to work again. So that way I'll be able to bring it back to life. So, and then the thing I wanted to point out is that it does have some paint on this motor housing, but I gotta find some paint stripper and strip the paint off the motor housing. And then this blade right here is so old that the paint is coming off the blades and stuff. So this gonna have to get repainted. And then so the next thing is, now two of the original blades for the ceiling fan was split. So what I did was that I had that I replaced the two split blades with the with the other blades that went to the SMC Royal Flush ceiling fan model U42 that had a broken blade and stuff that I recorded at a rental house. And then so the next thing is, now I was about to tell you how I was able to get them blades and put it onto this fan. So the landlord of the house, the landlord of the rental house that was getting renovated, gave me permission to actually replace that ceiling fan with a new ceiling fan, as he said that he wanted some new ceiling fans to go in that house. So he gave me permission to actually replace them old ceiling fans with the new, with one of my spare ceiling fans that I have. Now, I replaced the SMC Royal Flush with a missing blade, broken blade with my Hunter Coastal Breeze Plus ceiling fan from 1997, the four-bladed one. And then, so the next thing is, so the landlord told me that I could keep the old ceiling fans and do whatever I wanted to do with them. So I kept them and stuff. So, other than that, I'm about to go in and, talk about this ceiling fan here. So when I found this ceiling fan, the ceiling fan was missing the screws that actually, it was actually missing the screws that gives me the ability to screw the blades onto the motor. So the silver screws that you actually see on the ceiling fan are actually the screws that I got from the hardware store called True Value. And the motor housing screws was actually missing. So I had to use these ceiling fan blade to bracket replacement screws and stuff that I got from the hardware store. And the mounting bracket clamp was actually missing its original screws. So what I had to do is that I had to use one of my spare screws that I had and screw it onto the ceiling fan. And then after that, and then so the next thing is, then the ceiling fan was missing this ceiling fan is missing its original globe. And then the next thing about it is now this light kit was actually frail. Now the wiring on this light kit was actually frail, which really means that the wiring was falling apart. So in other words, the wiring on the light kit was brittle. So what I had to do is I had to take the light socket off this light kit and actually put a new socket. Well, that light socket not actually new, but I had to put a different light socket on here, and I had to put a different pull chain on here. And that pull chain actually went to a Hampton Bay Littleton ceiling fan that was manufactured in 2009 that I parted out and all that stuff as I was rebuilding this light kit for this ceiling fan and stuff. And the pull chains with them ball pull chain pendants, those are not original. One of them I got from Home Depot, and the other one came off of a ceiling fan that I parted out. And I really can't even tell which one is which because they both look identical. But I think it's this pull chain here that came off of a ceiling fan that I parted out. And this the one that I got from the Home Depot back in November or December 2020. I think November 2020. So other than that, I'm about to go on and demonstrate. Yeah, so actually I'm not going to make a demonstration video of this fan because I'd have made this video so long. And plus I already made a demonstration video, but I think I'm gonna do a remake video of the ceiling fan because the audio on my recent videos has been crap because of my speaker was all messed up. But I'm gonna talk about that in a later video and stuff. So other than that, I'm about to go on to tell the features about the ceiling fan. So the features about the ceiling fan is that it has 4 reversible blades from stencil to plain white. And it is 3 speeds and is electrically reversible, excuse me. Features a 40 reverse switch, 3-speed pull chain switch, and the light key you see on this fan is original, but it's missing its original globe. But I have a spare globe that I like to put on this ceiling fan. So other than that, I'm about to go on and get off this video. So this is Mr. Ceiling Fan Man 1999 signing out this video, and I am out.